Hello and welcome to Morris Park. I'm Clyde Morris. You'll have to excuse my voice a little bit today because we're kind of late in the summer, and that means ragweed season here in the Ozarks. So I'm having a little bit of allergies today. But today I'd like to bring you my MEDUSAs of the Euphorbias of the Caput MEDUSA group of what I have here. They're very interesting euphorbias. Now, they call these MEDUSA heads because they grow from these main stems here, as you can see, go from a main head, and then all these little branches come out like snakes all the way around it. And if you look closely at these, you can see they almost look like scales going up every one, so they really give the appearance of snakes. Now, the legend of MEDUSA is, from what I've researched, is MEDUSA was a priestess in the temple of Athena in mythology, and she was seduced by the ocean god Poseidon in the temple of Athena. Athena was so enraged by this, she didn't take her anger out on Poseidon, of course, but she took it out on MEDUSA and turned MEDUSA into a hideous looking creature with snakes for hair. So hideous that if one gazed upon MEDUSA, they would turn to stone. Then she was banished to an island by herself. Many tried to get MEDUSA, tried to kill MEDUSA, and went to the island, only to be turned to stone when they gazed upon her. They went to the island to try to gain MEDUSA's head to use as a weapon, because anybody, of course, who gazed on MEDUSA would turn to stone. In the meantime, a character known as Perseus had a plan to take MEDUSA's head to use against his mother's kidnappers. His mother had been kidnapped, and so he came up with a plan to take MEDUSA's head, use it against the kidnappers, and gain his mother's freedom. In going to the island, he was given a shield by Athena, a shield that was very reflective, and that he could use to see MEDUSA without gazing at her directly. And as legend says, he went to the island, using the shield, he found her asleep and cut her head off. Bring this head back, he used it against his mother's kidnappers, and gained his mother's freedom. Anyhow, as you can see, these all grow from these main heads. And these are what they call from the Caput MEDUSA group. There's other euphorbias that are considered medusoid euphorbias because they come from a main head, as you see here, this main stem. And they put these branches out and often put out new heads. As you can see here, there's one arm on this Euphorbia murray is forming a new head. And that's about the only way to propagate these guys from cuttings. If you just use one of the regular branches, like here, you probably won't get anything but a longer and longer branch. It'll just keep going. And I don't even know that you can actually do a two-step on these medusoid euphorbias like this. So the best thing to do is get one of these heads that have started up. And you can see on this one here, and I'm not really sure the species of this one. It's one of my very favorites for its shape. I really love the shape of this one, the look of this one. But it does produce these little heads off to the bottom. I've never seen this one bloom, so I'm not sure of the exact species. A lot of times you can use the flowers for identification. So just like my Flanaganii. My Flanaganii has been blooming for quite a while now, and a lot of the flowers have faded, but it's still got a whole lot of flower buds on it, as you can see there. It's in kind of a semi-dormant state right now, which is kind of unusual. We'd think euphorbias wouldn't be blooming in their dormant state, but some actually do bloom in their dormant state. My pulvinata actually blooms while it's dormant. This is my Euphorbia gorgonis. I bought this last spring at Drummond's. Has done very well, and you can see it's been blooming quite a bit. It's gone through at least 3 different blooms. My Flanaganii, this is its second actually for the year. My Murray bloomed earlier this spring, and so it's not got any blooms on it. The actual quintessential Medusa head would be the caput medusae, Euphorbia caput medusae, which is a very large Medusa head. And I don't have it because it is so large and takes so much horizontal space. And even in a hanging basket, they're quite large. So I haven't got the caput medusae, and I've got this small group of Medusa euphorbias here. Another thing about these euphorbias that's very curious, is when you cut a branch off or something, the sap really has a strong odor. I would say this is part of its defense. Once anything makes this thing bleed, even just a tiny bit, that odor would drive anything off. It's really quite smelly. Quite a disagreeable odor. There we go. Now, Flanaganii is known to put off lots of heads and actually form clusters. Mine hasn't done that yet, but I've seen pots full of these things where they just have new heads growing off all over the place, and they form these clumps of heads, and they're really quite impressive. Anyhow, I just wanted to bring you some of these really cool euphorbias, these medusoid euphorbias of the caput medusae group. As I say, there are other euphorbias that grow from a main stem like this that are considered medusoid, but these are the real medusas. Isn't that a cool plant? Really nice. Let's say, so far, these are the only 4 that I have of the caput medusae group. And who knows, maybe in the future, if I can find them, I may have more. They're really cool. You can see all these guys, they kind of grow from a little caudex down here. I know a lot of it looks kind of like just a main stem or whatever, but this is considered a caudex. You can see under here. Now my gorgonis hasn't gotten that tall yet. They're usually pretty squat, so you can't really see the caudex too well there. There you go. Nice little caudex there. Anyhow, I just wanted to share some of my medusas with you. They're real cool euphorbias, a real interesting form of euphorbias. I really enjoy them. I plan to get more if I can. Anyhow, this is Clyde Morris from Morris Park. Hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great weekend. Take care.